to my living room. That was a very awkward intro. I'm always slightly awkward when I first start these because I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I say? Okay, hold on, I'm gonna try and tilt this a little bit more so you can see. Okay. Thanks. All right, sorry. Little wobbly introduction. Okay. Well, I hope you guys are all doing really well. I'm just sitting here on a Friday night, and I know it's Friday, and I was like, I don't have much going on. Why don't I do a live and just say hi to everybody and pop in here? So I figure my thought is we can just chat all things violin, answer any questions you guys have about, about the violin, honestly about anything. I'm more than happy to chat about it. I'm going to see this time if I can make sure to, monitor the chat a tiny bit more, and see if I can keep up with comments and everything this time too. So I know it's always kind of a challenge, but I'm gonna try and do a better job this time. Okay, so anyways, starting, I have a new violin I'm trying. I actually have 2 new violins that I'm trying from Kennedy Violins. If you did not know, they recently, a few months ago, I reached out to them asking if they could send me some violins, and they did. They sent me 3 student violins, which I tried, I loved. If you have seen any of my recent videos, I'm always playing their Louis Carpini violin that I love. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's incredible, and it's literally $600, and it's a student violin, and it plays better than a lot of professional violins. So I love that violin. So they sent me some more expensive violins, and the one I'm going to play today, first of all, I have to show you this freaking case that I love, like love, love, love. I recently saw the new BAM cases, B-A-M, if you've not heard of BAM cases. Oh my gosh, their new graffiti case is very, very cool. And I want that one so much, but it's like almost $1,000. So I was like, okay, fine. Well, this one is going to might be my next case because I love this case. I'll open it and show you the inside too, so you can see. I know this orientation is in this way, and I know a lot of people were complaining and said it should be this way, but it's okay. Okay, so this is the inside of the case. It's gorgeous. It literally looks like a BAM case. And then, it's beautiful. I love this case. Anyways, all that to say, I'll take this violin out and show you. Okay. This is the violin I'm trying out. This one is their Zubach Master Series. And I think so this is my thoughts on this violin so far. I've played it a few times. Sometimes when you get a new violin, it needs to, like the strings need to be worked in a little bit. And this one is a newer violin, and it's just the strings have not honestly gotten worked in very well. So I'm still playing it, and I think I'm gonna compare it to when I first played it till now that it's been played a little bit more. So anyways, this is the violin. Like the strings just sound really, they need to be worked in. They're clearly new strings, which is great. Which is great that they're new strings, but okay. picking weirdos off the chat, you know? If there's any violin questions, I'd be happy to answer violin questions. Okay, anyways, so, so like I was saying, this is the Zubak Master Series that I got from Kennedy Violins, and I really like it. So I'm just gonna play it a little bit until, I guess I'm going to play Ode to Joy, as I play it. Strings are like that A. I think I need to talk to Kennedy Violins. Okay. I do not wear ear production. Where do you get your sheet music? I usually, honestly, most of my sheet music is by ear. At this point, I don't purchase sheet music. I either write it all. I have a degree in music composition, so I either write all my own music, or arrangements, or play it by ear. I don't purchase any sheet music at this point. Yeah. Also, it has a wolf on the C sharp. If you can hear that, as soon as I play that note, it's like, it kind of like falls dead. Whereas like this note, it rings. That note doesn't have any ring, and also like kind of has like a bit of a thing. Okay. Concerning Hobbits, I'm not sure I know what that song is. Okay, this is a cheap sounding violin, to be honest. Yes, that's my issue with it right now, is it's not a cheap violin, and it sounds pretty freaking cheap. It has like that like that sound that is not supposed to sound like that. What strings do you have on it? So I am not entirely sure what strings I have on this violin, because this one, like I said, it was just sent to me by Kennedy Violins. So I'm not 100% sure the strings that are on it. I thought it said they were Ava Perazzis, but I do not. Ava Perazzis are not black, are they? I thought they were green. Maybe they're new ones. I'm not sure. I believe these are brand new strings. And sometimes when you put brand new strings on the violin, it sounds like weirder than it's supposed to. But to me, it's so bad that I'm like, gosh, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know what strings I have on it. I think that it's, yeah, it's not. Can you play something nice? Like, what's nice? And someone says hallelujah. I think I heard hallelujah. I can play hallelujah. That's nice. It rings beautifully. What is your opinion on Suzuki Book 5 and up? Ooh, that's a very pointed question. My opinion on Suzuki Book 5 and up is that you Suzuki Book 5 and up is basically where you can just start playing like student concertos, and that's kind of what I recommend, especially like my students. A lot of times I will take them through Book 4 because I think that learning up to Book 4 is great. I personally love Book 4. I love the Seitz concertos. I love the Vivaldi concerto. I love the Bach double concerto, like everything that's in there. I love Book 4. And then after that, I think that you should start doing actual student concertos and actual rare concertos, and you don't like, there's a lot of sonatas and there's a lot of random stuff, and I just remember learning those books like Book 5, 6, 7. I literally learned all 10 Suzuki books, and I remember just I didn't love them. I really didn't. And Book 9, if you did not know, is the Mozart concerto in A major, and then the Book 10 is Mozart concerto in D major. That's it. So like you don't even need Book 9 and 10 for Suzuki technically. And so Book 7, 8, and 6 are all kind of just a bunch of like random sonatas and stuff like that. So Book 5 is honestly fun. I wouldn't lie. Book 5 is pretty fun. It's just like a lot of little songs, but they're cute and they're fun to learn. I recommend Vision solo strings. I actually am not a huge fan of Vision solo. Now, I think every violin is different and every violin sounds good with different strings on it. So I'm sure for your violin, they sound amazing. On my violin, my own personal violin, not this one, but my personal violin, I have Ava Perazzi strings on it, and those are, they sound absolutely beautiful on that violin. I will never put a different string on it. Plus also a Ava Perazzi gold, specifically the gold E on my violin. Those are the strings that I use. I love them. And I actually think that they sound great on every violin. I'm sure they don't, but that's my personal opinion. Yeah. Thank you guys. Those are dynamo strings. Are they really? Oh, I'm glad somebody knows. I have no idea what they are. I'm gonna have to look those up because I'm not sure what I think about this. Can you try a different bow? No, it's not the bow. A bow won't make that huge of a difference, honestly. And I have 3 different bows I've played with this violin, and it's not changed anything. But can you play a different violin for comparison? I love that question. Hey, baby. See if I can get my husband to grab one for me. Hey, baby.
Yeah.
Would you do me a huge favor?
Sure.
Would you grab me my other violin?
Yeah, is it in the room?
In the room, and it's the one that's like closest to the bed, like not my actual violin, the black case, like still in the brown accents. Thanks. Okay, we're gonna play the Louis Carpini to compare, because that's a great idea. Okay. May I ask the price range of the bows you play? So I have a lot of different bows. I've tried a bunch of different bows. This bow that I'm playing right here is just a student bow. This one was $50, $60, I think. But I love Coda bows. Thank you. Oops, oh my gosh. Thanks, baby. I love Coda bows. Specifically, I'm a huge carbon fiber bow fan. So if you want to talk about wood bows, I can't help you there. I literally have a wood bow that I bought for $2,500, and I do not like it at all. I liked it at the time. It served a purpose 10 years ago. I do not play it at all anymore. It sits in my case. Yeah. But I play my favorite bow, I don't know if it's actually in this violin case, is the Coda Luma, Luma. That is my absolute favorite bow, and I think that one's $700. Another Coda bow that I have that's right here, that you can see, is this is the Coda Colors, which they actually don't make anymore. I think it's called the Coda Prodigy at this point, honestly, but it might be something different. Not sure. Okay, so this is a different violin we're gonna try. This one, so this violin right here is, oh my gosh. Okay, this violin is the Louis Carpini violin that they have. This one is $670. This one that I was just playing is $4,500. Okay, so you ready? We're gonna do a comparison of the two, of the Louis Carpini and the Zubok. Oh gosh. Zubok. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Z-U-B-A-K, Zubak Master Series, okay? We're gonna play these two, and we're gonna see what we think. I already have a very strong opinion, but maybe you guys think something different, so tell me. I'm gonna, oh my gosh, there's so many comments. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna play something really simple. Okay, that's the first violin. Here's the second violin. Tell me you hear the difference of that. Anybody? Anybody, tell me. Sorry, Travis, can't ask something that many times. How do I? Okay. Do you hear a difference? Yes, yes. Okay. Which one do you think? Do you think violin 1 or violin 2? Do you think the Louis Carpini or the Zubak? I'm actually very curious from y'all's point of view, like what you hear. I'm gonna play, hold on, I'm gonna play them one more time. I need to play with my Kotobo. Yeah, the first is better. Oh, you think the first is better? Oh, what strings do you use on your Carpini? I don't know what strings these are. I believe, honestly, I believe these are called Portland strings. They're blue down here, and then they have these colors up here. I don't know if someone knows what those are, but I think they're called Portland. The first one is deeper, warmer, lower sound. Okay, okay. 2 is, some people say 2, absolutely second violin. First one is more vibrant. Okay. I'm actually so interested. Okay, I'm gonna play it one more time because I want to know. I'm gonna do it one more time so that in case you missed it or if you have an opinion, you wanna hear them again. I'm gonna play them in the same exact order. I'm gonna play them a different song and with my other bow that's a little bit nicer in case. Since someone said play with a different bow. Okay, let's try this. Okay, that's violin 1. Hold that thought. Here's violin 2. Okay, tell me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts. Second play Vivaldi, okay. Second, but I wouldn't pay more than $1,000 for it. So the second one is, I'm just like a violin salesman over here. The second one is $670, so it's not $1,000, it's $670. First one sounds softer and sweeter, but second more ringing, louder. Yes, see, that's what I think too, is like, while the first one has some good qualities, I feel like the second one rings so much, and I actually think the second one has a deeper tone. And the second one is brighter. Okay, yeah. The first one sounds like a donkey. Okay, I'm not gonna read the rest of that. The second one is better. Yeah. The violin is an instrument that will really write you off if you don't play it with confidence. Yep. Amazing too. Okay. First violin tune. I know the first violin is not quite in tune. Like I said, I think it has new strings on it, and I didn't really tune it with a tuner exactly. So yeah, two. Some say the first one. Second one is better. I am deciding between the Louis Carpini and Frank Henner. Not sure. I love the Carpini. I've not played a Frank Henner, but I will tell you this. I have played a lot of student violins, and I've actually played just, oh my gosh, so many violins in general in my time. Like when I was looking for my professional violin that I have now, I probably played over 1,000 violins. And I feel like that's a very low ball I've played so many violins, and I can tell you that this specifically Louis Carpini violin, I cannot even tell you how blown away with it I am that it's under $1,000. Anyways, I'm not a violin salesman, I promise, but I'm just so blown away with it. I think it's incredible. So I'm sorry, I'm selling a violin right now. If you want to get a Louis Carpini violin, go to Kennedy Violins or go to my last video, and it's like, I linked it there. So anyways, first sounds stupid. I think it depends on the song, because now the second is better. Interesting, okay? Second one would be good for old time and bluegrass, okay? Second one seems to project better, yes. First one sounds like an electric, yes, I thought so too. It just kind of sounds weird. I'm confused, is the second one more expensive now because I like number one? No, it's not. This is the second one. This one is it's $670. And then the Zubok that I played first is $4,500. Yeah, it's so interesting. Okay, I love hearing everyone's opinion. Okay. I prefer warmer sound, the first one. Okay, yeah. The first one is definitely deeper, lower, richer. Okay, the second one is higher, brighter. The second one would sound great for Mozart. The first for Bach, Brahms, Beethoven. That's a great, yeah, that's great. I don't know Shine, Shine, Little Star. I'm sorry. I don't know Arcade by Duncan Lawrence. I'm sorry, there's a lot of songs that I don't know. Do you have any experience playing fretted violins? I do not actually, because hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to be very, what's the word? Vigilant about my comments, because sometimes the people that pop on here, oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know. I don't sell anything. Okay. Okay. Oh, I was going to say, do I have any experience playing fretted violins? I don't have any experience playing fretted violins. I have played a long time ago the, what's it called? The Viper, the Mark Wood Viper violin. Which I actually thought it was so weird playing on a fretted violin. I did not like it at all. I could not figure out how to make it work, and it just was not for me. At this point I've been playing the violin for 30 years, so I don't really need the frets. If you're someone who feels like you need frets, sure, maybe get a fretted violin. I think it's a great idea just to get, just to put tapes on the violin and do it that way and learn. Also, this is getting so far out of so much more advanced music theory, but believe it or not, when you play a chord on the violin, not every single chord, like a G, for instance, if I were to play this G, like a G chord, and then I played a different chord, like a, now this G needs to move up 10 cents. I know that's, okay, this is so crazy. Anyways, so sometimes your note is not in the same exact place every single time for each chord. And depending on what you're playing, it needs to be different. So if you have frets, you can never move them ever. And it always has to be the same, even if it's supposed to be 10 cents higher or 10 cents lower. Anyways, that was so random. Y'all got me on a random tangent. Okay. Can you play something that primarily uses the lower strings to compare? Yes. Let's try. All right, same exact order, okay? I have not changed the order yet. I'm still playing it in the exact same order. We're playing the Zubok first. I'm gonna actually tune it quickly. Oh, it's so flat. Hold on. Because that'll probably help if it's in tune too. Here we go. Lower strings, all right? Now, tell me what you think when I play the lower strings, if you like violin 1 or if you like violin 2. This is violin 1. That's violin 1. Okay. Violin 2. Tell me, which one do you like better? Violin 1 or violin 2? I think that violin 2 actually, on this one, you can tell that it's not a professional violin. It sounds a tiny bit like this, but I still didn't think this one sounds very good. I still don't think the first one, like, I think maybe it's just like under my ear, it's not even fun to play. It's almost too bright, too loud, too much, which for some people is great, but that's just my preference under my ear, personally. Okay, I wanna know what you guys think. Okay, how long have I been playing? I've been playing for 30 years, but for today, I've been playing for 26 minutes. 2, 2, 1 is better. Number 1, oh my, Carpini wins. Well, Carpini was number 2. This one's the Carpini, the lighter color. 2, 2, 2, I prefer 2, okay. 1, lower strings, better on 1, but still interesting to compare. Yeah, see, I do think the lower strings on the number 1 actually might be a tiny bit better because it didn't sound like this, but of the two, if I personally was buying one of these violins, I mean, are you gonna, again, I'm not a salesman, I feel so funny doing this. I would pay $670 over $4,500 any day. That's what I would do. Anyways, hi, I play piano. Yes, amazing. But the second one sounds like an antique. My husband has an antique. I have a brand new one. It doesn't really matter, honestly, how old the violin is. I'm actually curious now that you say that. How old are these violins? This one is a 2023. So this one's pretty new. The Zubok is a 2023. The Carpini is a 2023. These are both quite new violins. And that might be the issue. Okay, like with this $4,500 violin with the Zubok, that might be the issue, is that it's a brand new violin. It has brand new strings. I might be the first person to ever play it, right? So no one's played it. No one's really broken it in. It just needs to be kind of broken in and played, and it will sound better. That might be what it is. 1 is for people who want to show off the violin. Oh, do you think it's prettier? I'm not really into the shininess of it. Have you ever played another instrument? Have you ever tried viola? I have tried the viola. You know what? And let me tell you a story. I do not play the viola. The viola, so I played my sister's. My sister's a violist. She's a professional violist. She's very amazing. She's so good. I tried her viola. She has a 17-inch viola, which if you do not know, might be 17 and a half inch. It's a huge viola, okay? I played her viola because someone asked me to play viola for a concert. So I was like, dude, I can play viola. So I borrowed my sister's viola, practiced it for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, that's it. My arm hurt so bad. My back was in pain. I could not make anything be in tune. I literally put the viola down and said, violists are special people, that they can play such a heavy freaking instrument and still have it on their shoulder. It's huge. Your hands have to stretch so much more. I was like, violists, you know what? You guys get all the kudos because dang, I can't play viola. So yes, that's my viola story. The second seems more resonant, but the first has warmth. So interesting. Okay. Number 1. I can understand too much of number 1. Okay. Did you challenge the devil? Violin 1 has more soul. Violin 2 is bright, but sounds too canned. Interesting. Okay. All right. I'm learning the violin, but confused on what exercise I should do. I'm having struggles switching between strings. Let's say I'm playing on 1 on the A string and have to go to 4 on the D. Ooh, well that's kind of tricky anyway, going from 1 on the A. That's kind of tricky anyways. You have to practice it, like break it down and literally practice being on the A. Like first thing to practice is just the open strings, switching the strings, and then play the 1 and then go to 4. Also is the reason you're playing 4, like why can't you play open A? Because 4 on the D and open A are the same thing. Just go 1A. I know you're saying that as an example, but specifically going to the 4th finger, if you're struggling with that, just play open A. For the money, 2 is better. Yes, see, that's what I say. You should be a violin saleswoman. I'm over here peddling violins. Who wants a violin? I'm just kidding. No, but honestly, I do love this Carpini. If I was buying a violin, this is what I would buy. My husband's is the late 1800s. Dang, that's a pretty good violin right there. Paganini, please. Okay. Y'all, do not spam my comments. I will immediately block you. It's a warning. I'm kidding. Okay, that's all I'm playing for Paganini. Where are my violists at? Hey, violists. Violin 2 is better in orchestra since it projects better. Actually, when you're in orchestra, you don't need a violin that projects. When you're in orchestra, you want a violin that, I don't want to say blends in, but yeah, if you're a soloist, you do want a violin that projects for sure. And that's one of the things when I was buying my violin that I have now. I'm not really a huge soloist, even though my teacher at the time definitely wanted me to be a soloist, and so like encouraged me to get a violin that was really loud and really bright. But that was one of the things that I did not actually go with. Went with a more like just a beautiful tone under my ear, because my thing for me personally is that I have to love playing my violin, right? Like I have to love what's under my ear, even if everyone out there loves it. If I don't, I'm not going to enjoy playing it. I'm not going to love how I sound. So if that makes sense, like whenever you're picking out a violin, get one that you like under your ear. Okay. If that makes sense. Anyways. Okay. You could, but 7 Carpinis for 1 Zubak. I love how you spelled Zubak. Oh my gosh. Okay. Regarding new instruments, properly seasoned wood is getting harder to come by. No ones will now be less likely to sound good compared to the ones 20 years ago. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. And a lot more violins now are not being completely handmade. They're being obviously made by machines or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how they make violins, but a lot of the components are being factory made, which is also bringing down the quality of violins, unfortunately, making the older ones even more awesome because they're completely handmade. Yeah. Okay. What is the price of the second? The second one is the Louis Carpini, and this one is $670, which is, y'all, that $670 for that nice of a violin. I cannot, like my brain, I'm like, how? I played violins that were like 45, like this Zubak, they were like 4,500, and this is way better than them. So anyways, I'm violist and playing for 14 years, yay, or for 5 years, amazing. I married a viola player. I love that. Okay. I wouldn't pay $45 for anything less than a Strad, and you can never get a fake Strad for that, let alone a real one. You can actually get so many fake Strads at this point, and it's Strad I think you're saying Strad anyway, S-T-R-A-D. Fake Strads are everywhere. You will get so many fake Strads. Kind of like there's another one. Jacob somebody. He's another one. Jacob Stainer. Oh my gosh. Jacob Stainer has the most number of fake violins out there that look nice, sound nice, say Jacob Stainer in them, and they are not Jacob Stainer. It's very interesting, actually. So yeah, And 45, and you're not gonna get a Strad for probably less than $1 million. So yeah, you have to find something in between there. Sorry. Hi, Miss. I wonder if violin self-learning is possible if I have some foundations. You know what? This is the thing. This is a very interesting thing that I might make a video on at some point. I definitely was said that you should not learn violin self-learning. And I still believe that. Like, if you're not like a self go-getter, don't learn the violin by yourself, get a teacher. But I recently met somebody who learned the violin all by himself. I think he's been playing for 2 or 3 years. He is amazing. I'm actually so freaking impressed with how good he is, and he's never had a teacher before. So I am now saying that yes, it is 100% possible to learn the violin by yourself. My husband's very excited that I'm saying that. You can actually learn the violin by yourself. I think you have to be an extremely self-motivated person to do that, and have the right things around you. He learned with, I believe it's the online violin and piano tutor. If you look her up, she's on YouTube. She's like really, does videos from she's been doing this for like 20 years, something like that, for a very long time. Look up her videos. She has so many, but that's how he learned, and he plays so freaking good. I'm impressed. So anyways, do you play weddings? I do. I don't love playing weddings, so I charge a lot, but I do play weddings. I love violins, period, regardless. Amazing. What is the price of the second? The second one is $670. What advanced exercises are beneficial for a violin? All of them. Well, okay, not all of them. For advanced violinists, I would say the first thing to do is get the Carl Flesch Scale Systems book. It's a big, huge blue book that is amazing, and it's basically scales. So the first thing it starts with, say it's like the C major scale. You're gonna play a C major scale on one string, on every single string, and then you play 3 octave C major, 3 octave arpeggios, thirds, sixths, harmonics, like literally everything you can imagine in this freaking scale system book is so good. So that's the first thing I would get. And then the second thing I would get is I would get the Sevchik Shifting the Position book. That is, oh, I thought I just heard my son wake up. That is so freaking amazing. The Sevchik Shifting. I don't have any of these books sitting around, do I? Those two, and then I would say get the Kreutzer. If you're not, I'm sure you've done Kreutzer, but the Kreutzer etudes are also awesome. Anything else? I think that's kind of all I would say. I mean, there's so many more, but those are the ones like off the top of my head. Those are amazing advanced exercises, because Kreutzer is going to help you with just like technique in general. Scales is going to help you with technique, and then the Sevchik Shifting. Oh my gosh, if you want to get better at shifting, that is the book to get. It's so amazing. Okay. Violin one speaks to my ancestors. Very funny. Okay. Is there a difference between a fiddle and a violin? There is absolutely no difference. There is zero difference. Everyone is going to tell you there's a difference, or I've had people that have argued with me that there is a difference. There is no difference. Nope. It's just in how you play them. So you could literally pick up this violin and play a fiddle tune. It's a fiddle. And then I could pick it up and play. Now it's a violin. It doesn't really matter. It's just all in how you play it. It's the same exact thing. Okay. Can you play Vivaldi Winter if you can? So I think you mean summer, but I will play winter for you. I think you mean summer. But yeah. Can you play for Elise? Okay. Can you play summer? There it is. Yes. What is the price of the second? The second one is $670. Can you convince my family to pray to learn? You want to learn the violin? Amazing. Is there a greatest violin player? Well, I mean, there's lots of obviously greatest violin players. If you're talking about people that are still alive, oh my gosh, there's so many. I feel like the most popular right now is probably Ray Chen. If you're talking about people that are no longer here, probably Yasha Heifetz or actually Iktek Perlman is still alive too. He's also amazing. And who else? Joshua Bell's amazing. My brain is blanking. Isaac Stern. So many. Okay. Sorry, I played Vivaldi Winter and I'm going to mute you because I don't want to. Please don't spam. Please your own ear when you're playing. Amazing, yes. Can you play Pirates of the Caribbean? Can you play jazz? You know what? So funny. I don't play any jazz. My husband and I were just talking about this. Like, jazz music is really cool, but for me, I am like I said, I was a composition major, like a music composition. So I am very like rules based in music. I try not to be, but I honestly am. And jazz breaks all the rules. And so I'm kind of like, I don't understand it. I'm like, what are you playing? Like why? Anyways. What is the best song you've heard played on the violin? That is so hard to say. I love, though, the Sibelius Violin Concerto. Love that one. Check it out if you have not heard it before. It's beautiful. I learned flute in grade school, but I was told I was a natural for violin. Go figure. Interesting. I actually played flute in, what grade was I in? 4th or 5th grade, I think. And I played it for a little bit. And I've been playing the violin since I was like 2 years old. But I picked up the flute because I loved it. And oh my goodness, I actually think that playing the flute helped me so much with like being able to read high notes on the violin. So now I can look at music that's really high and I can know what the notes are. Whereas a lot of violinists are still like figuring it out. So I'm kind of proud of myself. How much should I spend on a violin for a first timer? I just started playing piano a year ago and want to try other stuff. So, Joe, first of all, what I would say is I would really recommend to find just a few instruments. Like, don't play too many instruments. Specifically if you want to play the violin, I would say to do one instrument. And I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but hear me out. Specifically with the violin, I think that there are like woodwind instruments where you can play a bunch of different ones. Even like the piano, you can play that along with maybe the violin or something else. But the violin is a very, very difficult instrument and it will take a long time to master, like a long time. Probably the longest of any instrument to master. So I always tell people, if you want to learn the violin, only learn the violin. Like only be playing the violin. Because the violin will take up all of your time that you have to learn an instrument. So, I love that you're playing the piano. That's going to help give you such a great foundation. If you want to learn the violin, be very serious about learning the violin, and it might be difficult to have two instruments. And then even if you want to do other stuff, also just be very aware that to master the violin, it's going to take a lot longer than the rest of them. So I like to say be focused, play one instrument. But that's just what I say. Okay, how much should I spend? I can't, like... $670, that's how much you should spend. But honestly, like getting a good violin is also so important because I have a few, like I said, I tried a whole bunch of beginner violins and I don't enjoy playing them. I don't like playing them. They're not fun to play. They don't sound great. They are difficult to play. Specifically, if you buy a violin under $300, don't even bother. Like literally do not even bother. So that's why I honestly, like, I think this violin is so amazing. Like I said, I do not get paid to say this. I think this violin is so amazing because it can take you from beginner to advanced. I am playing this violin right now. Like literally I've been playing this violin for 2 months at this point and I play it every day. I love it. I think it sounds so good under my ear. It's so easy to play. It rings, it's beautiful. You can play anything on it. So that's kind of the reason I'm saying to invest a tiny bit more at the beginning into a violin and it will last you the entire time. Whereas if you buy a $50 violin, that violin will last you all of 5 seconds before you hate it. So yeah, that's my spiel. You can also rent. You can rent this one actually. You can rent it from Kennedy Violins. I think it's like $30 or $40 a month, which is amazing. It's rent to own. So also, yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, I'm so sorry, you guys. If you spam, I'm going to hide you. So please do not spam, okay? Yes, I played Vivaldi. I played Vivaldi Summer and I played Vivaldi Winter. Yep, Andre Rio does have an authentic Strad. So do a lot of the big violinists right now. I played Vivaldi Summer. Someone keeps asking for Vivaldi Summer. This song River Flows in You hard to play on the violin, to play by ear. So I want to know in advance how the song is. I don't know that song honestly. I've never played it before, but I'm sure most songs. So many spammers. So most songs on violin, if you can play basic violin, like if you're at an intermediate, maybe slightly advanced level, you can play any song you want on the violin. So River Flows in You, give it a go. I'm sure it's great. Lindsay Sterling is an amazing violinist in her own right. She is not oh my gosh, I need to say this right. She's an amazing violinist for what she does. I'm gonna stop. You live in Cremona? That's amazing. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. That's like the birthplace of the violin. Oh, that's so freaking cool. Yes, I did oh my gosh. I am banning spam right now. Sorry, people. Okay. Would a fiddle be cheaper than violin or would they be the same? So the violin and the fiddle are the exact same instrument. Doesn't matter. Just matters how you play them. So it's not going to matter if you get a fiddle or a violin. If someone is advertising something as a fiddle, it's a violin. There's no difference in them. Okay. How many years have you been playing? I've been playing for 30 years. What vibrato is the best in your opinion? I don't think there's any, like, it's literally personal preference. I could say that I love wrist vibrato, and I bet somebody on here would be like, it's arm vibrato! And it doesn't matter. Like, it really does not matter. Whatever vibrato works for you the best. So, for instance, I started playing arm vibrato when I first learned back when I was like, I think I was like 7 when I started learning vibrato. And my teacher did arm vibrato, so she taught me arm vibrato. And then I was just before college, I think I was probably 15 or 16, my teacher taught me wrist vibrato. And honestly, wrist vibrato became my favorite thing. And to this day, I will play wrist vibrato. Sometimes I go back and forth, and that's not on purpose. It just kind of depends on how my hand feels that day, but usually I'm playing wrist vibrato. So I don't think one is better than the other, honestly. It's kind of you and what works for you. So yeah. Will you please play Howl's Moving Castle Merry-Go-Round of Life? You know, people have asked this for me before. I have no idea what that song is. I've not even heard of it before. So Hilary Hahn is another great violinist. Yes. Have you ever played Bruch Concerto number 1? If so, could you play the beginning? Okay, don't judge me. I'm sitting down. I've not played this in ages. Just totally off the top of my head. Love that one. If you know Carn, I don't know that one. Nope. Have you heard of nope, I've not heard of that orchestra. Regina Carter is a great jazz violin player. Very cool. I'll have to look her up. I have no idea who that is. I play cello but love to play violin on the side. Super cool. I play violin and cannot play cello. Could you pluck a 2-octave scale on each? That's extremely specific. Pluck a 2-octave scale. Sorry, that's my nail getting in the way. Y'all, this one is just so much better. I cannot even. Is there any exercise to improve improvisation? Ooh, that's a great question. You know what? No. Yes, probably, I'm sure. I tried for a really long time to improve my improvisation because my mom really wanted me to be like a fiddle player. Like she wanted me to be a fiddler. I just could never get like the fiddle. Like fiddle has like a sound and I just don't have, like, I'm a very classical player. I just never had that, like that fiddle sound. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I think that if you want to get good at improv, you literally just have to go do it. Like, fine, there are so many, and I know there are, well, I hope after COVID they all got back to, there were so many before COVID, like fiddle groups that would like go to local like restaurants and they'd all just like jam and play and improv and all that kind of stuff, which is super duper fun. I'm just so bad at it. So if you want to get better at improv, find a group like that. Like a random group that goes to like Pizza Hut on I don't know where they go, but they go like a pizza place on a Friday night and like all play together. Do that. Less is more in the sense I play the violin, the bagpipes, and yes, Corey is right. Ooh, bagpipes, very fun. Okay, amazing. Schindler's List. I think you're asking me to play it. I think I know how to play it. Exactly right. And I think that's Schindler's List. Okay. I don't know that one. What vibrato is best in your opinion? Did I answer this already? What vibrato is best? Okay, in my personal opinion, wrist vibrato is the best, but like I said, you could ask somebody else and they're gonna say arm vibrato is the best. Gotta do what works for you. Honestly, I play viola and piano, but that made it easier to learn the violin, and the only thing is fingerings can be more difficult. Yeah, I mean, like, viola and violin are honestly the two instruments that if you play, like, if those are the two instruments you play, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, if you're playing, the people that play, like, violin and piano and oboe and trombone and xylophone, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, honestly, what are you doing? That's... like, you're not playing any of those 6 instruments very well. Like, let's be honest. That's kind of, yeah. Okay. I'm in a medium between intermediate and advanced playing. I've been self-learning through octave scales and have been progressing fairly well. I'm going to soon join advanced orchestra and would like to be better. That's awesome. Yeah, 3 octave scales are great. Yeah, keep doing it. Can you teach me some basic rules of playing the violin? I have so many videos. Go watch my videos. Because for me to give you basics of how to play the violin right now, there's so many basics. So I have a bunch of videos on it. I specifically have 2 videos I just made, a part 1 and part 2, about how to play the violin, how to learn the violin online. So if you have any questions about that, they're both there. I just made them. They're recent. Yeah. All right. Sorry, blocking more people. I saw a $69 blue violin on Temu. I have a white violin that I bought off of Amazon for $50. That violin sucks. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. It's really pretty, but does not sound good. Okay. I've been playing the violin for about 5 years now, and I have been wanting to play the cello for a while now. Would learning it be a bit easier since I already play the violin? I don't know. I might, like, my sister, I have another sister who plays the cello. I have 4 sisters. We all play instruments. I have a sister who plays the cello. I honestly have picked up her cello a few times and been like, this should be pretty easy. Because if you think about it, it's not the same as the violin. First of all, it's a completely different fingering system. on the cello. It's a completely different, how you play it is completely different. The vibrato is completely different. The bow is completely different. You're sitting, like, it's a completely different instrument. Like the violin and the viola, those two are, like, obviously it's pretty much the same. It's different, but it's not. The cello is a completely different instrument. Going from cello to bass is probably easier, but violin to cello, I don't think it's at all the same. It's even a different clef. It's, I don't know. I'm probably the wrong person to ask that to, because I know there are violinists who do also play cello. I just think violinists that play cello look like violinists playing the cello. They don't look like cellists, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm such a, like, learn one instrument, learn it really, really well, do that one thing, do it amazingly, especially with a string instrument, because they're, like, they take hours and hours and hours of practice. Yeah, because those hours that you're now taking, like if you practice for 2 hours a day, but you're taking now those 2 hours to play the cello, you're slacking on your violin, and your violin, instead of getting better, is going to be just stagnant, if not getting worse, because as soon as you switch back, it's going to be, anyways, okay. How much time a day do you spend practicing? So at this moment, at this point in my life, I probably spend about, this is going to sound really bad, I probably spend about 20 minutes a day practicing. 20 to 30 minutes, kind of depends. I used to practice a ton more. It used to be at least 5 hours a day, like minimum was 5 hours every single day. And that was for years and years, like through college, after college, like playing in professional orchestras. It was so much practicing. But at this point, because I am a professional, I'm more just like upkeep, and at this point, I'm a mom. I don't play in orchestras anymore, really. I'll play the occasional gig, but it's just kind of upkeep at this point, and I'm kind of like playing for the joy of it and because I love it. So yeah, I practice for maybe 20, sometimes longer. Sometimes I'll practice for an hour, but it just kind of depends. So yeah. I am married, thank you. Hi, I want to buy a violin and learn one. Any tips on how to choose the good one for the first time or beginner? Yes, so many tips. Get this one. I'm taking all the guesswork out of it for you. Just get the Louis Carpini. It's the best violin. Okay. Okay. Blocking more people. Love Hillary. Yep. Hillary Hahn is incredible. Just a great violinist. Can you play Chopin? Nope, I don't play Chopin. Oh my gosh, I'm so far behind in comments, you guys. Sorry. I don't know Misha Bray, who is my violin teacher in London. That's super cool. I don't know him. I started learning the violin a couple months ago. It's so hard coming from saxophone, at least. Yeah. I tried to do the switch to fiddle, but I can't. That's so real. I tried to switch to the fiddle too, and I can't either. I'm such a classical violinist that my brain just goes, nope. I haven't played the violin since I was 11 years old. Just bought one. I'm scared to try though. That's amazing though. I feel like I've had this. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. I had a student who was, I think she was in her 60s, and she played the violin when she was younger. And you know what the thing is that because something about just having played the violin at all when you were younger and you go to pick it up, you are leaps and bounds ahead of those that have never picked it up before. So don't be afraid, like go for it. That's amazing. That's absolutely awesome that you've at least played it before in the past. So when you go to play it again, that you kind of have, even though it was years ago, you have a foundation set up. So that's exciting. How long have you played violin? I've been playing the violin for, I don't know, the 30 years, probably more. I don't know that middle is in my hair. Violin is the best instrument in the orchestra, hands down, followed by French horn. You know what? That is such a true statement. That statement right there. The violin is the best instrument in the orchestra, hands down. French horn. French horn is another instrument that is actually, I think it's so difficult to play correctly and like perfectly. Yes, I would agree. Are you selling them? I am not selling them. I'm not selling these violins. I'm just genuinely like, this violin's amazing. Okay. No, I'm not playing Winter. I'm sorry, I played it already. I quit the guitar because my hands didn't work for me. You know what's funny? Because I've tried playing the guitar too, and I don't know what it is. I cannot figure it out. I think at this point I'm like, I should be able to play anything, and then I pick up something and I'm like, I suck, and I don't bother. Hey, no, okay. I just saw this. You can play all those instruments well at the same time. Don't shame people for playing multiple instruments. Okay, listen. To each his own. And that's, I think I prefaced that because I don't like, if you want to play a million instruments, go for it. But what I'm saying is that, and I'm talking like if you want to be high level, like if you want to play all these instruments, great. But I'm saying if you want to be high level, playing a bunch of instruments is not a good idea. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I've just subscribed to your channel. Amazing. I can play electric guitar. Super cool. Amazing. Hello. I don't know any ABBA. Why only 20 minutes? Because I think you're asking why I only practice for 20 minutes. Because I am a mom, like I said, so I only have nap time, but I also have to work and do a whole bunch of stuff. So that's the time that I have. And I think that's the important thing too, is to understand the time that you have. And in that 20 minutes, I am extremely focused with my practice. I am not like dawdling around or doing like just playing whatever. I'm very focused. I'm very, like, I know exactly what I need to practice at this point. I've been playing for 30 years. I'm a teacher. Like, I know exactly what I need to do. And so that's what I do in those 20 minutes. And then I'm done because that's all the time I have. So yeah. And also I'm not like learning a concerto. Like if I was learning a concerto or trying to do something, like I would need to practice for much, much longer. But I'm just, like I said, I'm just kind of in an upkeep phase. Yeah. Thank you for answering my question. You're welcome. That makes sense, but I do love challenges. I'll probably tackle learning the cello in a year or two. Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I'm not saying like don't do it. Like, there are some violinists that successfully play the cello. So, yeah. Why do you okay, hold on. Why do I see mostly violinists tilt their bow sideways? This is actually a really interesting question. So, and I saw somebody asked this in one of my videos, and I loved the answer somebody gave, and I was like, it helps like to give more nuanced dynamics, and that's exactly right. Like if you play the bow flat-haired, it's going to be a lot more of a loud, like that's the more projecting sound, whereas if you play it to the side, it's a lot more nuanced. Whereas it's a lot more like bitey, louder, whereas if you play it to the side, it's a little bit prettier, lighter. So it kind of just depends on the sound that you want, the way your bow is tilted. As you're learning, keeping it straight is better, and then as you're getting better and better at it, giving it a bit more giving it a bit more tilt will give it a little bit of a sweeter tone. I promise I can speak. I've just been talking a lot. Okay. I figured out one reason I didn't have a good tone was that I only used the weight of the bow on the strings. I've been trying to press a little harder and it seems to help a little. That's so interesting. So interesting. Yeah, you do want to make sure that you're pressing down with the hand. And I just did a video about this too, where when you're here at the frog, your pinky is the one that's kind of has his full weight leading the bow, or leading the bow. And as you get to the balance point, which is about here-ish, it transfers to your first finger actually, so the rest of the bow. So when you're here at the frog, if you notice that it crunches, it's because your pinky needs to have a little bit more control of the bow. And then as you get to the tip, it's your first finger is the one that's giving a lot more weight. And yeah, I like literally, I don't know if you can tell right now, my first finger is actually tilted sideways. Do you see that? It's like tilted sideways, and I have an indent right here because of how much I press down, especially like when I'm playing, oh my gosh, like a few years ago when I was playing in orchestras like for hours and hours every single day, my finger would come out completely tilted and this dent right here would be so huge just from like pressing down so much. How much did your instrument cost and when did you buy it? So my personal violin, it's not either one of these. I think it was around 20K. I don't remember. And then I bought it when I was, oh gosh, I probably bought it 20 years ago. No, not 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. Yeah, it's a little while. And I wouldn't buy another violin at this point. Like I don't care to. I love my violin too much. I don't need a more expensive violin. I don't want to go through the pain of having to get a new violin. Someone asked me recently, because they just bought like $100,000 violin. They're like, what'd you get? And I was like, nope, I have zero desire to get a new violin. Yeah. Guitarist watching a violin video. Great. How would you recommend getting out of a slump? I imagine you mean like a practice slump is what I'm gonna go for. I would recommend playing, like figuring out what your favorite song to play on the violin is, even if it's like Let It Go, like Frozen or whatever, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is, pick your favorite song and learn it on the violin and play that. Like play fun songs. What are songs you've learned in the past that you love? Just pick them up, play them, and just start playing your violin. Like don't practice. Don't be like, I'm gonna practice my scales and my vibrato and my shifting and my intonation. Like don't worry about it. Just pick up your violin and play it. And remember like the joy and the love of playing your violin. That is my biggest tip for getting out of a slump. I have gone through many seasons of my life where I've literally stopped playing my violin because I just didn't want to. And the way I got back into it and picked it back up was by just playing my favorite songs and being like, wait, I love the violin. Why have I stopped playing for so long? And I'll just pick it up and start playing again. So yeah. Where are you from? I am from America. What would you say about intonation? I mean, any exercise or your experience? I just made a video about this, about intonation specifically. Practicing intonation with your scales is the best thing to do. So go watch my video that I just made about how to practice your scales. The first thing to do is to practice intonation every single time. Like just practice your intonation. I think that's the best way to do it, because honestly, like you need to practice intonation throughout everything, but yeah, practicing it specifically with intonation, with your scales is the best. Violin with Rosemary, I see is here. Rosemary, I love you so much. You're so fun to see in my comments. I love every time that you comment, and I love all the tips that you add as well. Guys, if you do not follow Violin with Rosemary, go follow Violin with Rosemary. She's amazing. What bowing exercise book do you recommend? Bowing. Scales. That's what I recommend. Or Kreutzer. Kreutzer has some great ones. For instance, like the second exercise in Kreutzer has a whole bunch of different bowings you can practice. I think the sixth exercise as well. I can't remember. Get Kreutzer. It's great. And it depends on what level you are. I would say Kreutzer is advanced. If you are not so advanced, practice bowing exercises with your scales. Yeah. How much should I tilt it? I imagine you were talking about your bow. So if straight is here, I usually tilt my bow about here. So not too much, but about here. And if you notice when I tilt my bow, also my arm comes up to help tilt, because you want to make sure that your fingers are all very loose as you're playing, specifically your pinky. So when you go to tilt it, everything tilts even more and has even more fluidity in the movements. I've been playing for 6 years. Why is vibrato so hard? It's vibrato. I've been playing for 30 years and still practicing my vibrato every day. Just how it is. Yeah. Is it normal for my thumb to get fatigued? It's so funny. It depends on what you're working on, but if I practice Kreutzer for too long, like this right here as I'm playing, it gets like very sore. So I think that's or are you talking about the thumb on your bow arm? I've never noticed that on my bow arm, but yeah, on my violin for sure. I don't know why. Okay. Hi, I play violin, but I haven't played in a while. Now when I play, my bow keeps hitting 2 strings. What can I do to stop? it's about practicing the balancing of the bow on one singular string. So maybe start with the E, where it's easier to hit on one string. Just practicing playing on one string, and then move to the A and see if you can figure out where your arm needs to be, where, like, what the balancing is for the bow, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I've been thinking about buying a violin to teach myself, but I changed my mind now. I don't want to call. Well, if you get a nice violin, it will actually not sound terrible. Okay. Do you play string quartets? I do play string quartets. I used to be, well, I kind of still am in a string quartet. So I have 3 sisters. One plays violin, one plays viola, and one plays cello. Actually, I have a brother as well. He plays double bass. So we were a quintet, and we toured everywhere. If you go back in some of my videos really, really a long time ago, like years and years ago, you will see us playing together. I shouldn't have said that because now I'm just gonna go look, but yeah. I use Sevchik. Sevchik is the best. Learn vibrato in slow motion, yes. Any tips for keeping my right arm and shoulder from falling asleep when practicing for hours on end? Ooh, sounds like you probably need to go to a, what's it called? Alexander technique. Go check out Alexander technique. Okay. I think I got to the end of all the comments. Y'all, thank you for hanging out with me on this live. I love doing little violin chats and getting to talk to everybody and answer questions, because I feel like sometimes there's so many questions and it's just nice to, yeah, get an answer. So, is it okay to play Indian classical as well as Western classical? Absolutely. Yep, play any style you want to. Go for it. That's amazing. Yeah, anyways, so I will see you guys next time. I'm going to try and continue doing lots of videos and all the things. So, yes. All right. Love you all. Thanks for being here. And I will see you all later. Okay, bye.